Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Psalms chapter 13, verse 3 through 6. Consider and hear me, O Yahweh, my Elohim. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest my enemy say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto Yahweh, because he hath dealt bountifully with me.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, consider me.
I have no one to which I run.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you're sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you up on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in Lithonia, Georgia. I first of all want to praise Yahweh for the absolutely beautiful selection this morning by our choir, and thank each and every last member of that studio team who put their effort into fixing and getting all the kinks out to try to get our sound as best as we possibly can. So praise Yahweh for that. Today's sermon is entitled The Pathways of the Predestined. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of my Father in my name, he may give it you. John chapter 15 and verse 16. The main part that I want to highlight is you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. There are a whole lot of things that we may encounter in our lives, and some things we wish that we can back up and change. There are some things that we wish that we can alter. But in doing so, we have to wonder what other things might we alter in trying to fix something else. And not just that, but maybe the actual problem that you're trying to erase actually brought forth a whole nother solution that you have no idea. It was because of this problem that you moved up on this level. I want to read the definition of predestined. It says, of an outcome or course of events determined in advance by divine will or fate. So with that in mind, let's begin today's sermon in Jeremiah chapter 1.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 1. The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anatoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of Yahweh came in the days of Josiah, the son of Amon, king of Yehudah, in the 13th year of his reign. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Yehudah, on to the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Yehudah, on to the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month.
So, first of all, when these are the things that sometimes we don't pay much attention to, we get past that so we can get to the part that we want to hear. But right there, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive. Okay, there's a difference when you have a job during good times and when you have a job during bad times. See, everybody want to be the coach who win the championship. But when you the coach, when they ain't done nothing but and they have been losing for 5-6 seasons straight, oh, it's hard to be the coach then. Nobody is bragging about their wonderful power and authority. Okay, here in the situation they're about to go through some very tumultuous times. So when you have a charge during that time, it is a tumultuous charge because it is a tumultuous time. It has no choice but to be. So don't skip over that. Go ahead.
Then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you.
Wait a minute. Before I formed you in the belly, if it was before he formed you in the belly, that means you were still in your daddy. He had already decided. No, I got something planned for the individual that's going to proceed out of you. Go ahead.
And before you came forth out of the womb, I sanctified you.
Before you came. Now, these are two statements here. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. All right? And before you came out of the womb, so you were formed at that point, but before you came out, I had already sanctified you. But when we are not aware of our sanctification, we use those abilities for incorrect things, because this is something that he's coming to understand now. Nobody explains that to you. It's not like the angel is standing there when he's born and is explaining to him, okay, you ordained. Okay, you've been sanctified. No. You figure that out down the road somewhere. So there's other situations and circumstances that present themselves before you find this out. Go ahead.
And I ordained you a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Aha, Adonai, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But Yahweh said unto me, say not, I am a child, for you shall go to all that I shall send you, and whatsoever I command you, you shall speak.
Automatically, there's already an issue there. Wait a minute. These people are not going to listen to me because I'm not old enough to have the kind of authority that you're supposed to have to speak to these individuals. But Yahweh said, never mind that. I gave you a job. Anytime somebody gets a job, the authority to do the job is automatically included in the job. Go ahead.
Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with you to deliver you, says Yahweh. Then Yahweh put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And Yahweh said unto me, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. See, I have this day set you over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Now, wait a minute. You have to look at the order in which he's doing this. See, I have this day set you over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out, to pull down, to destroy, and to throw down. Then he goes to build and plant. Now, see, that's not that stuff that we used to have to pay $1,000 to hear those prophet lies. Because the prophet lies, it sure wasn't tearing down, rooting out, pulling down, destroying, and throwing down. No, it was telling you, God, how rich God wants you to be. People don't pay $1,000 to hear, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be rooted out. You're going to be pulled down. You're going to be thrown down. You know what? Give me my $1,000 back. I didn't pay for this. Ain't nobody came here to pay. Ain't nobody. What they do that at? Give my money back. No. People pay to hear good things. The good thing don't come till he says to build and to plant. And considering what you building and what you planting, it ain't pleasant either. Go ahead.
Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Yirmiah, what seeth you? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said Yahweh unto me, you have well seen, for I'll hasten my word to perform it.
Okay. He first tells him that he has been sanctified and called for a job. All right? After doing that, the teaching automatically begins. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Yirmiah, what seeth you? Because we're reading this, we automatically assume that it's a plain picture. But why is he asking him, what does he see? He's testing his vision. Because remember Yahshua saying, I speak to you guys in one way because it's given unto you. I speak to them in parables because it's not given unto them. So I have to deal with things differently based on the ability of sight and understanding that they have. So to sharpen his sight, he asked him, what does he see? If it's plain, why does he ask him, what does he see? Now you have to consider, Yahweh has to have a method of showing him something without showing everybody who's standing by him. So Yahweh can make something and have it presented in this room, and only the one who's supposed to understand it will even see it. Everybody else will walk right by it. That's what he's doing. Tell me what you see. You can show anybody an almond tree. Come on, man. They all farmers. Everybody know what a tree look. Come on, man. Ain't nothing miraculous about that. You ask a farmer, do you know what this is? It's a seed, fool. But if he's showing you in a different way, then he's showing you how to see something differently. So we spend all our time thinking about learning languages. Here's the language. He's showing you something right before your face and nobody else see it. Isn't that the same thing happen when you find some of these brothers that will call Saul heard word, Saul saw thing, the people standing by him didn't see it. Why? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And the word of Yahweh came unto me the second time, saying, what seeth you? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north.
Now, as we were talking about this, now, and I know, you're young kids, y'all didn't do this because y'all got phones. But when we was little, and they let us stay out when the street light came on, we sit on the car and look up at the stars and say, I see a man with a bow and arrow. No. I see an elephant. And we looking at the stars and we picturing. That don't even make no sense to y'all, do it? It was like, man, that man was born in the 1700s. They ain't seen the sky since they been here. They don't know. First of all, y'all got creepy clouds, so y'all wouldn't know what the hell the star looked like anyway. If you look up, you can't find it. So they have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, one of them do. They're like, I got a star app. I look at the stars all the time, but I look down. Right. Get out of here. Read.
Then Yahweh said unto me, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. For, lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, says Yahweh, and they shall come, and they shall set every one his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Yehuda.
Okay, so as he's showing him this, he asks him, what do you see? Okay, then he shows him what it means. Now you know you don't have to keep talking to him now, right? So for all these people to keep talking about, I talked to the Lord last night. No. Let me tell you something. When you talk to Yahweh, what he does is give you a template by which he does not have to keep coming to you. He's a very efficient Elohim. So if he got to keep coming to you every Tuesday, let me tell you something. You are the dumbest servant ever. Okay? There's something seriously wrong with you. You are in the spiritual slow class. He's not going to keep coming to you every week. He's going to give you a template. All right. Do you see this? Yes. This is what this means. All right. Do you see this? Yes. Tell me what you see. Such and such. Good. You done figured out. All right, I'm gone. See you in another 30 years. I need to keep talking to you. Got other stuff to do. He spent all this time talking to you for. He gave you the template. Use the template. Go ahead.
And I'll utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me, and have burnt incense unto other gods, and worshipped the works of their own hands. You therefore gird up your loins, and arise, and speak unto them all that I command you. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound you before them.
I done already gave you the template. See, why would he be confounded? Because I gave you the template. You saw how I delivered it in whatever abstract painting way I delivered it. You learned how to interpret it. You know what I'm telling you to do. You better go say it. Go ahead.
For, behold, I have made you this day a defense city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Yehuda, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land.
That's a whole lot of potential enemies. Kings, princes, priests, and then the people. I mean, just go ahead and just kill me, Yahweh. I mean, this the job I was born for? You telling me I was born for adversity? Yep. You wonder why your mama had a little snappy mouth. You wonder why you had this aggressive daddy who was always into something. Yahweh said, perfect. Yeah, y'all two need to get together. Because y'all going to make a little baby hellion. And I'm going to make the little baby hellion a servant. He going to be baby hellion servant. That's what I'm going to call him, baby hellion. You thought your dad and mama just met each other by happenstance. No, they were put together. Them two going to make what I need. He didn't need to stay around for this job. He did his job. It says, before you were formed in the womb. That means it came from him then. The same dude you don't care nothing about. The same dude you said, man, he ain't nothing. I'm sorry. If it was before, it was in him before he met her. Okay. Let's go to Luke chapter 1.
You want to read verse 19?
Go ahead, brother. Finish that last verse.
And they shall fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you. For I am with you, says Yahweh, to deliver you.
All right. So, Luke chapter 1. Don't worry about who's going to fight against you. They're going to fight against you. You have a family full of people you help. They'll still turn around and fight against you. They won't say, we would have been homeless if it wasn't for this guy. No, they're still going to fight against you. Because that's what Jake does. Jake fight for no apparent reason at all. Luke chapter 1, let's start that at verse 5.
There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias
Uh-huh.
of the course of Abiah.
Uh-huh.
And his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
All right, so you have to look at how Yahweh is putting some things together. All right, so he already told this individual before you were formed in the womb, I had already sanctified you. I had already decided what you were going to be. And there are things that we think along the way that we are making happen. We have to wonder, how many times are you kicking against the pricks because of what he has already decided? No, I want to be this in my life. Yeah, right. Yeah, I would say you're going to be doing this in my kingdom, or you're not going to do this at all. Now run, go tell that. Go ahead.
And they were both righteous before Elohim, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Adonai blameless. And they had no child, because that Elizabeth was barren. And they both were now well stricken in years.
Well stricken in years. They are righteous people, have no child. Keep going.
And it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before Elohim in the order of his course, according to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Adonai.
All right, this is his job. As a priest, this is the job that he's supposed to be doing, taking care of the incense. Go ahead.
And the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense.
They're praying outside because he's inside by himself doing his job. Go ahead.
And there appeared unto him an angel of the Adonai standing on the right side of the altar of incense.
And ain't nobody supposed to be in there when he lighting the incense. All right? So now there's a problem. Go ahead.
And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for your prayer is heard. And your wife Elizabeth shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Johannes.
All right, so now we're talking about there are specific things that this child, Johannes, has prophesied about him. And he used these two people to bring forth this child. But this child has a purpose. This child don't get to decide against the purpose. See, there's that free will that we all hear about, and then there's destiny. There are some individuals that are born for a purpose. And no matter what you do, that purpose is going to be fulfilled in your life. You turn left, the purpose went left. You go right, the purpose go right. Wherever you go, that's where the purpose end up. You don't run away from the purpose. You run fast, the purpose is right behind you. Where we going? You look tired. Lay your head on my shoulder. Right? You ain't getting away from that. Go ahead.
And you shall have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of the Adonai, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. And he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Adonai their Elohim. And he shall go before him in the spirit of the power of Elias, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Adonai.
All right, so this child has a purpose to get them ready for Yahshua. He has destiny. Go ahead.
And Zacharias said unto the angel, Whereby shall I know this? For I'm an old man, and my wife well stricken in years.
You cannot blame this man for asking this question. But the angel very much so blamed this man for asking this question. As a man, as a carnal creature, if somebody come to you and tell you, you know, your prayers have been answered, man, them prayers was 35 years ago, bruh. Man, ain't nobody praying for no kid. What are you talking about? Your prayers have been answered. Man, them prayers got 8-track dust on them, bruh. Bro, where you get these prayers? How you even find these? I put these in a box and put them in the attic. Your prayers have been answered. You can't just straight fault this man being carnal. This man, come on, man. You come to me now? Right. Because now what you want and where he need aligns. Go ahead.
And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of Elohim, and am sent to speak unto you, and to show you these glad tidings. And behold, you shall be dumb, and not able to speak, until the day that these things shall be performed, because you believe not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season.
So the angel don't like not being believed. You know, and that's one of the things, Yahweh kind of warned us. All right? Our oracles say, beware. I sent the angel to lead you in the way, but do not provoke him. He will not pardon your transgression. So whatever that is, it seems to be constant with the angel. They have a real, I really don't care what you think. And it seems to be constant because Moshe was warned. And here this brother just asked a plain, simple question. Whereby shall I know? I tell you what, you ain't going to say not another word. I tell you that. I tell you what, I tell you that. I tell you, question me again. Come on, you bad. Come on, you been prophesied to come before the Messiah? You got a little child coming? Come on, ask me another question. He has no more questions. They apparently don't like being questioned. They don't like not being believed. Mm-hmm. What the angel say concerning Sarah? Why she laughed? Mm-hmm. And she laughed inside. She did a little inner chuckle. Everybody have a little inner chuckle. He said, no. She said, I ain't laugh. He said, but you did laugh. What are you upset? It's amazing. They come and do miraculous things and then get pissed off because we don't believe it. I see why Yahweh warned us. All right, now, look, be careful how you deal with that angel. Yeah, you got people sitting here talking about how much they talk to God every night. Let me tell you something, man. You're going to be dead because you're going to say something stupid. And when you talk to these people, you ever notice that they have all this dialogue with God? And I told God, and I said, boy, this man asked one question. And he ain't talked for how long take it? Help, baby?
9 months.
Come on, bro. You asked one question and you can't talk for the next 9 months? Right. Go ahead.
And the people waited for Zacharias and marveled that he tarried so long in the temple. And when he came out, he could not speak unto them. And they perceived that he had seen a vision in the temple, for he beckoned unto them and remained speechless. And it came to pass that, as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. And after those days his wife Elizabeth conceived, and hid herself 5 months, saying, Thus has the Adonai dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me, to take away my reproach among men. Mm-hmm. And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from Elohim unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Miriam.
All right, so now, as he's already got this situation going, now another situation needs to start. You notice that he's dealing within the same family, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
And the angel came in unto her and said, Hail you that are highly favored, the Adonai is with you, blessed are you among women. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Miriam, for you have found favor with Elohim. And, behold, you shall conceive in your womb, and bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Yahshua. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest, and the Adonai Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Then said Miriam unto the angel, How shall this thing be, seeing I know not a man?
All right, so then the other situation in her family, this woman is already married, has been married for all these years, did not have a child. This child has to come forth first. Then this one is presented, but this can't be presented with a man because there's some much higher level things that have to happen here. Go ahead.
And the angel answered and said unto her, The Holy Spirit shall come upon you, and the power of the highest shall overshadow you.
Now, it is amazing to me that some of the pushback that you get from this, there are so many individuals that said this is absolutely impossible. It is no way to make a child without a man and a woman coming together. It is utterly amazing to me that people will say that they believe in Yahweh, but this part stumps them. Even today, they have situations of artificial insemination where these people have never met one another, yet there's a child. I don't understand these people that say they believe Yahweh, but then they limit the power of what they will allow him to do. Go ahead.
But you believe in the creation of Adam and Eve, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, how they come about? Who? You know what? I'm scared to ask that question. I'm scared to ask that because I guarantee you it's a doctrine.
You see, God fell down in the dirt.
Read before we lose our PG rating, brother. Read.
Therefore also that holy thing which shall be born of you shall be called the Son of Elohim. And behold, your cousin Elizabeth, she has also conceived a son in her old age. And this is the 6th month with her who was called barren. For with Elohim nothing shall be impossible. And Miriam said, Behold, the handmaid of the Adonai, be it unto me according to your word. And the angel departed from her. And Miriam arose in those days and went into all the hill country with haste into a city of Judea, and entered into the house of Zacharias and saluted Elizabeth. And it came to pass that when Elizabeth heard the salutation of Miriam, the babe leapt in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. And she spake out with a loud voice and said, Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And whence is this to me, that the mother of my Adonai should come to me? For, lo, as soon as the voice of your salutation sounded in my ears, the babe leapt in my womb for joy. And blessed is she that believed, for there shall be a performance of those things which were told her from the Adonai.
All right. So now let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 7. Second Samuel 7, and we're going to read verses 1 through 17.
And it came to pass, when the king sat in his house, and Yahweh had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, See now, I dwell in an house of cedar, but the ark of Elohim dwells within curtains.
Now, this is speaking of his prosperity at this point. I dwell in a house of cedar. I have a house nicely made. But the ark of Elohim dwells within curtains. Go ahead.
And Nathan said to the king, Go, do all that is in your heart, for Yahweh is with you. And it came to pass that night that the word of Yahweh came unto Nathan, saying, Go and tell my servant Dawid, Thus says Yahweh, Shall you build me an house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelled in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day. But I have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle. In all the places wherein I have walked with all the children of Israel, spake I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, Why build you not me an house of cedar? Now therefore, so shall you say unto my servant Dawid, Thus says Yahweh of hosts, I took you from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel.
Now you have to, I want you to, pay attention to that part. I took you from the sheepcote, from following the sheep to being ruler over my people. Go ahead.
And I was with you whithersoever you went, and have cut off all your enemies out of your sight, and have made you a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before time. And as since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused you to rest from all your enemies, also Yahweh tells you that he will make you an house.
Right. You telling me you going to build me a house, I'm going to build you a house. Go ahead.
And when your days be fulfilled, and you shall sleep with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you, which shall proceed out of your bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I'll establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
So now you have a little bit of perpetual destiny going on now. Because of this situation, because of this encounter with Elohim, now he has destiny that's going to flow through to his other children, to generations. There's going to be a little bit of that. Even when they do wrong, they still got a little bit of that destiny sitting there. See, this is what get people in trouble. They look and they say, well, you know, such and such did something. And you know, they didn't get fully punished for it. Yeah, but he got a little destiny sitting on his shoulder. You might not want to try that. See, you don't know what destiny is sitting on somebody's shoulder. See. And although they may get punished, Yahweh don't fully take his glory away from them because of a previous promise. Go ahead.
I'll be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit lawlessness, I'll chasten him with the rod of men.
I'm going to whoop him. Go ahead.
And with the stripes of the children of men.
I'm going to let them jump him.
But my mercy shall not depart away from him.
But I ain't going to take my mercy from him. But he going to get beat up. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to go right to his jaw. But then I'm going to dust him off and tell, all right, now, boy, go on, sit down at the table. And people say, I can't understand that. Well, you can't understand that because there's destiny on his shoulders. Go ahead, brother.
As I took it from Saul, whom I put away before you. And your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you.
Check that out. No matter what your kids do, I will not totally remove them. I'm going to deal with them. I am going to punish them. I am going to set them in order, but I will never fully remove them because of this promise that you and I are making today. Then the very kids that come and receive of that destiny will turn around and say something stupid to their daddy. Not knowing your daddy the only reason you ain't dead. It ain't because of you. It's because you got destiny on your shoulder. Just a little bit of hint of that there. Keep reading.
You know, brother, even with that, on the opposite side of that is, you know, parents don't consider when something's being said to them or correction made to them within the sanctuary and they take it to heart and run off. What have you just done for your child's future?
Right.
Your throne shall be established forever. According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto Dawid.
All right. Now let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11. Let's see that in implication. See, it's implied at one point and it's applied in another. Let's see the implication turn to life.
2 Kings.
1
Kings chapter 11, verse 1. But King Shlomo loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you.
Now, he said exactly why. He didn't say it because they're lesser individuals. He didn't say any of that. He said, I'm going to tell you why I don't think you should go in unto these women. Keep reading.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Shlomo clave unto these in love.
He said, point blank, they're going to turn your heart away from me. I'm telling you what they're going to do. And every man believes,
Well, no, not me. I'm saying, I mean, you know what? Because well, I don't know if you know it. You know, Yahweh, but I'm different. You know what I'm saying? It's in me, not on me. I'm trying to tell you, look here, I can handle it.
All right. Everybody said that. Next thing you know, you trying to orchestrate a secret baptism for your wife so won't nobody see it happen. What the hell? Oh, okay. Right. Slowly but surely, it's pulling at you. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
And he had 700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart.
I'm surprised he could find it hard. Go ahead.
For it came to pass, when Shlomo was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
Wait a minute. So he was strong at first? All right. But see, the chest not checker. See, eventually, see that continual dropping. See, a little bit of rain might cause the wood to get a little soft. It might start. Sooner or later, that continual dropping, it's rotten. One day you step on it and your whole foot went through. What happened? That little bit of drip, you know, that little drip, you just said, I ain't paying attention, ain't nothing but a drip. That's what happened. It was a little bit of drip every day. Baby, boo, babe. Drip, 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 drip. Sooner or later, foundation coming down. And y'all will sit back. All right, he ain't in no hurry. I told you what it was going to do. So, we're going to have this conversation in 30 years. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here. Go ahead.
And his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his Elohim, as was the heart of Dawid his father. For Shlomo went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Shlomo did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh, as did Dawid his father.
So it's evil when you go not fully after your Elohim. All you got to do is not fully go after him. You are already standing in evil. Because you didn't go fully. But what's causing you to not go fully? We don't understand the damage that we possibly bring to those entities. So let's say you don't go fully. And Yahweh said, okay, so this is because of her? Well, she coming in between us, huh? Here it is. I thought I gave you something good. But you know what I'm going to have to do? So that you and I can bond right. Because it don't seem like me and you can bond with her. I'm going to have to remove her out of this situation. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is, how does he do that? Does he just call y'all to break up, or does he take our life? So you don't understand what a little bit of disobedience can do. You can be putting everybody behind you, life in danger, because you won't fully follow him. Read, please.
Then did Shlomo build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
But see, he's not looking at this like he's doing this for these gods. He's doing that for these wives. But what are they doing in the houses that he built for them? See, we automatically look at that man. He built the house for the God. And he built the house for the woman. She took the God in her. He didn't automatically just set out, I'm going to build this. No. He built it for the woman. But it ain't hard to figure out. Hey, what you doing in there, girl? Oh, this look like, I know the God your folks worship and everything, so I know what this is. And he was supposed to take care of that, and he didn't. Go ahead.
You know, and if you're building something in a hill that's before Jerusalem, that means everybody can see that.
Everybody can see it. Now you making competition for Yahweh. Now what happened when the other people, the other children of Israel see it? Well, you know, I mean, this is nice. I just want to go in there and see it. Go ahead.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods.
And they did it in the house that he set up for them. Go ahead.
And Yahweh was angry with Shlomo because his heart was turned from Yahweh Elohim of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
Wait a minute. Why is this man on earth? Yahweh didn't appear unto him but twice. Now, how is it that folk who ain't never kept the Sabbath, don't know God's name, still got pork on their breath from last night pork chop, swear the Lord talk to them? Why is this man around there had a conversation but twice? After he give you a template, he don't need to keep coming talking to you. Go ahead.
You know, even coming twice, that's to establish that because you
Oh my God, that's pretty serious. Because he don't need to come but once.
Because he only went to Zacharias one time. He only went to Miriam one time. And they got it.
Right. And this why he getting the extra whooping. Why can't you twice? Which is saying something if Yahweh spoke to you twice. Go ahead.
And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which Yahweh commanded. Therefore,
But we won't say I didn't go after other gods. No, I was going to see Keisha.
Yeah, but Keisha worship a different God. So you went after another God.
No, I wasn't. No, she just. No, I was going over her house. She had that Buddha over there, and I wasn't worshiping Buddha. I mean, I sat down, I folded my legs, but I wasn't. And she had the incense, and she was doing the clinging things, but I wouldn't. I guess I'm guilty then.
Yeah, yes you are. Right. Go ahead.
wherefore Yahweh said unto Shlomo, forasmuch as this is done of you, and you have not kept my covenant and my statutes which I commanded you, I will surely rend the kingdom from you and will give it to your servant.
All right, so you gonna get punished. Keep reading.
Notwithstanding, in your days I will not do it for Dawid your father's
Now check this out. See, there's a little bit of destiny sitting on it. No matter how disobedient he is, there's a tad bit of destiny sitting on his shoulder. So Yahweh don't even fully deal with him the way he deserved to be dealt with. Go ahead.
But I'll rend it out of the hand of your son.
Now check this out. Now a son got to come and don't even know what's going on. He's like, I ain't the one that had 1,000 wives. What they got to do with me? Go ahead.
Howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to your son for Dawid my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
Right. So I'm not even going to take all of it from your son. Why? Because he also has destiny sitting on his shoulder. Even when I punish him, I'm not going to punish him fully. Because each one of y'all were then born in that destiny. And I'm dealing with you as such. Now imagine if you're looking at something and don't know what you're looking at. You think Yahweh ought to deal with something differently. But he ain't shared with you the destiny that's sitting on that other individual's shoulder. You might want to stay out your God's business. Go ahead, bro.
And Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Shlomo, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom.
And it's just so interesting that as soon as we get into trouble, he stirs up an Edomite seed. Oh, Yahweh he knows how to do gloriously even in trouble, don't he?
Oh no, I got somebody who wanna tear you to pieces so bad. Oh, I'm talking about these people been dreaming of doing you wrong.
He said, no, that's the enemy that I'm going to stir up with you. See?
I'm talking about you can do whatever that is you want to do. And Yahweh got somebody. It's some folks that been sitting over there, they've been smiling at you, but they've been hating you for years. They've been smiling at you, but they have deep hatred for you. He said, you know what? Sit here. Why you don't sit here? He gonna get the job done. What? He been hating him for 20 years straight. Watch him take care of his business. I ain't gonna have to do nothing but give him the keys. He gonna take care of everything else. Let that be a thought for all of us. The minute we decide to take that left turn, do understand, it's a group of people who have absolutely no power against you at this very moment. But they hate every bit of you. And the moment you take that left turn far enough, those the individuals that he will give power to come for you. And do believe they're coming for you. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. I know if I slip, there's a whole coalition coming for me. They probably gathered together at a house watching me right now. Because you know what? What's strange when people can't stand you. I can't stand it. Y'all shut up your own. You know, why are you looking? Go watch somebody else. Genesis chapter 6, brother. Let's read verses 1 through 3.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
All right, now I need you to go slow right here, because what happens, this is where people start getting into all this old twisted thought process of giants and angels with women. I get so sick of this. All right, slow down here. Read that again.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
All right, daughters were born unto them. Go ahead.
That the sons of Elohim.
Sons of Elohim, these are righteous individuals. Go ahead.
Saw the daughters of men.
They saw daughters of men. They didn't see daughters of Elohim. Okay, sons of Elohim saw daughters of men. Uh-oh. Sons of Elohim didn't look at daughters of Elohim. Sons of Elohim, they said, I'm going to walk in culture. I'm going to do this. But look at that over there. What is that? Is that a one piece? Okay. All right. Okay. So they're sons of Elohim. They know what righteousness is. And they know that's not it. But the way it looketh, it maketh me stare. Right. Okay. Keep reading.
That they were fair.
They fair. They look nice. Go ahead.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
And
Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Yahweh was not pleased. What's happening? The spiritual part and that little destiny is now getting mixed with flesh. Now, all of the glorious things that should be done are now turning to flesh. They are now using their power for all the wrong things. Sons of Elohim who come in unto daughters of men. Now, he didn't say nothing about any ethnic group or nationality or anything. So this wasn't about, this guy married this kind of woman. No. He married the wrong kind of woman in here. See? That daughter was a daughter of a man, not a daughter of Elohim. And we don't think that's going to affect us. That a son of Elohim go in unto the daughters of men. You just give yourself 3 times more work. And when you're going to do, sign yourself up for 3 times more work, you damn well better clock in. You clocked in before, clock in again. You signed yourself up for this job. You can't tell them people you're going to do overtime and then not show up. Well, since it was extra, I didn't know y'all was counting that.
Right, try it. They got another place called Georgia Department of Labor. You're gonna be right there. Go ahead and tell them people that you're gonna do overtime and don't show up. See what happened? You signed yourself up for that overtime. Go ahead.
You know, brother, when you look at verse 2, it says that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, right? Jump down to verse 3. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. If these was angels, why he ain't said my spirit would not always strive with angels?
Bro. Why are you trying to make sense out of this? Man, I get so tired of these angels. Man, I get, bro. Did you finish that?
For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
All right. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 44. I mean, it makes sense, brother. I understand why you're doing it, but boy, that gets on my nerves. And I don't know what people believe they get out of that. What does that do for you? All right? Does my salvation grow any if an angel came in unto a woman? It actually upsets me. Because I'm pretty sure he can do some things I can't do. Last thing I want to hear, you used to date an angel? I can't compete with that. I stand 0 chance here. This ain't gonna work out. Boy, stop. All right, Ezekiel chapter 44. Let's start at verse 15.
But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, that kept the charge of my sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, says the Adonai. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat.
I can tell you, man, Yahweh been working with me on this, man, and I'm trying not to be disobedient because I had some stuff before that came in my life that I thought was just a thought, and I didn't move on it, and I caused everybody around me some problems when that happened. Right now, he's describing when they come close unto him to minister, then they have to have this clothing on. You know, even when you look at some of these things, several of you brothers got long dreads. It says, when we deal with that, even with bonnets and you get into these are turbans. These things were wrapped. I question whether or not, and I'm on this, and y'all's will I maybe have an answer by next Sabbath, but I need to figure this out because it's been sitting on me. But I don't think we're supposed to be taking these things off while we get close to this altar. You know, I find it very questionable whether or not they were unwrapping all this hair to pray before the altar and then wrap back up. I know one thing, the high priest never unwrapped. That's one thing we can tell. But when you talk about all of this, it says when they minister and they come close to me, they shall have these things. Well, then you have to ask yourself, with brothers with dreads and you brothers unwrap and right at the altar, Yahweh might be moving us up on another level that, hey, some things might have to get dealt with here. I don't know exactly what that is, but it keeps sitting on me. So I'm going to have to meditate on it. But when they minister close, they covered. Keep reading.
And when they go forth into the outer court, even into the outer court to the people, they shall put off their garments.
They putting off their garments there. He didn't say nothing about removing not nothing while they were there. See, this is a New Testament reading where we go in and it says, let a man not have his head covered. We ain't men.
There's some things that we may have to adjust. And that's the part about allowing Yahweh to direct your life. When he make a change, you damn well better make a change with it. I decided that it wasn't convenient one time to make a change when Yahweh gave me something. And I almost lost 2 members of my family on the same table. I won't make that mistake again. Go ahead, priest.
Wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chambers, and they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long.
Now, if their locks growing long, do it make sense that they would uncover it right at the altar? Read, priest.
They shall only poll their heads. Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court. Neither shall they take for their wives a widow, nor her that is put away, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before.
All right, and if it's a maiden, that's a virgin. All right, go ahead.
And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. And in controversy they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgments, and they shall keep my laws and my statutes in all mine assemblies, and they shall hallow my Shabbats.
All right, so we can go in Leviticus and we can read some of the very same things that this is how the order is supposed to be, especially, with the priest and the covering, even among this marriage part that's supposed to happen here. Now let's go to Hosea. And we're gonna start at verse 1, and we're gonna read verses 1 through 11, and then we're gonna jump.
$9:21.
All right, so chapter 1, and read verses 1 through 11.
The word of Yahweh that came unto Hosea the son of Beri in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Yehuda, in the days of Jeroboam the sons of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea.
The beginning of the word, right? All right, this is the beginning of his instruction. Keep reading.
And Yahweh said to Hosea, Go, take unto you a wife of whoredoms.
Wait a minute, stop. Wait a minute, man. The priest supposed to be marrying virgins. I mean, and then the beginning of my job, it was day one. Hey, how you doing? Esaac gonna marry a hoe. What? What? But thou father. This beginning of his job, the day one, man. Destiny don't always go how you think it might go. See, some of this is also decided by what the people around you have done and what he needs for you to do. So now destiny about to be something different. Go ahead.
And children of whoredoms. For the land has committed great whoredom.
Wait a minute. See, you're a servant of Yahweh. All right? You work for him. The children of Israel have done this. Now I need you to do that. Yeah, but see, your word had said, I know my word said, I said it. Don't tell me what my word said, boy. Now go get the whore and bring her here. Go ahead.
Departing from Yahweh. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And Yahweh said unto him, Call his name Yezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Yezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Yezreel. And she conceived again, and bare a daughter. And Elohim said unto him, Call her name Loharoma, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I'll utterly take them away. But I'll have mercy upon the house of Yehuda, and will save them by Yahweh their Elohim, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when he had weaned Loharoma, she conceived and bare a son. Then said Elohim, call his name, Lo I am. For you are not my people, and I'll not be your Elohim. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living Elohim.
All right, but you got to go through this process, though. See, the issues of the people. This is the thing that Israel has to figure out. When Israel gets into this self mode of, I just want to stay neutral. Understand, each thing affects the other individual. Because of what Israel has got into, it is now directed even how these prophets are going to have to deal. The cleaner you keep them, the less stressful your work is. Go ahead.
Then shall the children of Yehuda and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Yezreel.
All right. It shall be great in the end. But they're going to have to go through that process. I'll jump to chapter 3, and I want you to read verses 1 through 5.
Then said Yahweh unto me,
Uh-huh.
Go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress.
Come on, Yahweh. Come on now. I mean, you done already told me to. See, now, these are two distinct different things. Don't think that this is the same. Because when you talk about go marry a woman of whoredoms, she just been around town. I mean, she know the back streets. All right? So, but now, what you talking about here is an adulteress. Oh, no. That's something altogether different. Those are not, please do not mix these two up. I mean, you done already had me start a family over here. Everybody say they want to be a servant. They didn't need no more people in the media department. The kitchen was all filled. Read, preach.
You know,
Read, preach. Ain't nobody hurry up and sign for this job right here. Ain't nobody trying to sign up there. Look at me. What department is that? Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, you know, when he told him what to go marry, boy, he went right to who he needed to go to, didn't he?
I don't know if there was a database, but somehow he knew. That's peculiar. Somebody must have had told it him. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yahweh toward the children of Israel, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine.
Okay, so for all those who want to do their job, understand something. Okay, if you're priest, prophet, you're in this job, and the children of Israel have been adulterous toward him, then his job for you still won't have to do your job. Read.
So I brought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for an omer of barley, and an half omer of barley.
I don't know if I really want to know the price. You know, I mean, he putting it down here. This is the exact. Go ahead, bro.
And I said unto her, you shall abide for me many days. You shall not play the harlot.
Now wait a minute. He giving house rules. Now he know yet an adulteress. So some things happen. He know that there's a past here. But I now come from this day forward. You should not be for another man. Go ahead.
And you shall not be for another man, so will I also be for you. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek Yahweh their Elohim, and Dawid their king, and shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the latter days.
Now, a lot of times we end up in situations and to us, we are making these moves. Like we meet people, we have these conversations, but we never consider that there may be outside influences that are making sure that we do certain things.
There's a movie, I know a lot of y'all are movie buffs. You know, have y'all ever seen The Adjustment Bureau? The Adjustment Bureau is a very interesting movie. This couple, it was first written in the plans for them to be together. And then somehow the plans got changed. But their heart was still toward one another. And this man constantly was going at this woman, trying to get back with her because he felt like true love. But the Adjustment Bureau are angels who keep trying to keep them apart. But they keep going so long at each other that they cause the plan to be changed back so that they can be together. And why is that so interesting? Because some of these things that we read in this book, when we go through it, a lot of people will say, oh, these are problems, these are this. What they have to understand is there are other entities that have a job to do to make some things happen. And in doing or making those adjustments, if you will, it makes sure that the plan maker gets the desired effect from the plan that he has put in effect. So with that being said, I want us to go to Genesis chapter 29. So we're going to have to watch the Adjustment Bureau. I think it's going to be a chick flick Sabbath, y'all. It's going to be a chick flick Sabbath. We're going to watch Adjustment Bureau later on today. Because a lot of times I've heard people speak about certain things and it's clear that they don't see exactly what's happening here. They might see certain parts, but you have to ask yourself about the why. Genesis chapter 29, let's start that at verse 1.
Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be you? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know you Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter comes with the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water you the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth, then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them.
So Rachel has the same job as Dawid, keeping the sheep. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, that the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother.
Okay, it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, he did her job. He moved the water, the rock from the well, and then he watered the sheep. Go ahead.
And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept.
Now you know, brother, serious when he just started crying. This is some deep kind of game right here. He can't even hold himself. He kissed her and started crying, and lifted up his voice. I mean, that's pretty strange right there. You don't meet many brothers that meet a woman, he scream and cry. All the things that a brother try not to do in front of a woman. I ain't gonna raise my voice. I ain't gonna let her see me like that. And I ain't gonna cry. He did it all in that moment. Everything that we said we ain't gonna do, he did it before 2:30. Go ahead.
And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass.
She ran and told her father. I think she might have been moved by that screaming and crying. That's just my thought. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely you are my bone and my flesh. And he abode with them the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because you are my brother, should you therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall your wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to you, than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast.
Now, people have, questions about, birthdays and all of that. How you know exactly what was his day? I tell you what, he sure marked that day. He knew exactly what that day was. Now, how he know that day right now? They didn't have no calendar. They didn't have they couldn't pull out no Motorola and say, I'm looking right here. You know what, Laban did that today, that day. I set my alarm went off. But he sure knew what day it was. Look at that. Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this you have done unto me? Did not I serve you for Rachel? Wherefore then have you beguiled me? And Laban said, It must not so be done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn.
All right, stop. Now, when a lot of people read about these things, they say, it was so many complications, there's problems. There's destiny in here. Yahweh has chosen Jacob, and he's got to have him get 12 boys. Here is your adjustment bureau in action. Something has to happen so that he produces 12 boys. So when other people are looking at the what, they're not looking at the why. Keep reading.
Fulfill her week, and we will give you this also for the service which you shall serve with me yet 7 other years.
All right. So now another 7 years of service, another change. Now he has to now deal with this second wife. This was not his intentions. So now there is what you might intend for your life. And then there's the destiny that you have fallen into. If you have Abraham, Esaac, now you have Jacob, I'm sorry. This is your destiny. This is the lot that has fallen upon you. He sees Rachel. This is what he wants. Destiny has other plans. Go ahead.
And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid.
All right, so he's ended up with this multifaceted situation, but he wasn't attempting to do that. So it looks like just some things with other people and how they deal. But you're going to see Yahweh in a second. Go ahead.
And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
All right, so he loved Rachel more than Leah. All right, so it is what it is. That was the one that he was trying to get to before, right? No harm, no foul. Go ahead.
And when Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb.
Why he in this? Wait a minute. Why he in this? Wait a minute. If this was just some stuff done by Laban, why he in this? Why he in this? Whoa. Why is he in this? Why is he making adjustments? Because this is his plan. These are his servants. He said, oh, you got a problem with her? Oh, I tell you what, I know how to take care of this. Go ahead.
But Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely Yahweh has looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
Now, other people looking and say, oh my God, this is competition. How else do you get 12? Said, no, I need you to have 12. Now he's got to make a way to make sure 12 boys come out of here. Go ahead.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because Yahweh has heard that I was hated, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise Yahweh. Therefore she called his name Yehudah, and left bearing.
And now understand, now this is all supposed to be the wife that he wasn't trying to get. This where Judah come from. Everybody claim they Judah. Everybody say they Judah. That wasn't the wife he supposed. Okay, I'm sorry. Then the priest come out of there, right? Oh, okay. But that wasn't his plans. Matter of fact, the plan that he had, she had no kids yet. And Yahweh's the reason why she ain't had none. So Yahweh making sure some things gonna happen. Part of the whole thing of the Adjustment Bureau, excuse me, they said that they needed to change with them two being together because they said, you don't have the same drive if you're with this woman. So what you saying? You're going to be fulfilled in your heart. And because you are fulfilled in your heart, you're not going to reach the plateau in life that the plan says you're supposed to reach. So why? Because you're going to find so much peace in her. That you're not going to be the leader that you're supposed to be. So we got to somehow upset you. And not let you find all the comfort in her. That's automatic. It says, not only do you kill her dreams if y'all get together, I'm going to kill your dreams, but you kill hers too. She don't become what she could be if she be with you. And you don't become what you could be if you with her. Because y'all just going to get together and be happy to be nappy. Y'all ain't going to try. Because of the peace y'all going to find. So the Adjustment Bureau had to get involved to make some adjustments. So they had to go through all of these things to basically change their thought process. All right, we're going to make sure that we will reach our plateau, but still be with each other. But they got to prove that to the maker of the plan. Read, please.
And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in Elohim's stead, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb?
Hey, we all know who in this. They all know who is doing this. Go ahead.
And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
All right, so it is known what this purpose is. Go in unto my handmaid, and she's gonna have kids for me. So she said, go in that tent. Don't come out. Don't come out of that tent. I better not hear zip. I hear zip. You go back in there. Don't come out until she's pregnant. Go ahead.
And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to wife. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, Elohim has judged me and has also heard my voice and has given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
Wait a minute. She gave him her maid. I got a maid too. Go in that tent. Don't come out that tent. But remember the destiny. Y'all need to end up with 12. So we focusing on the what and not the why. And when you don't consider the why, you will never consider the who. Yahweh doing this. Go ahead.
And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop comes. And she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray you, of your son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that you have taken my husband? And would you take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes.
So they're negotiating. He's in the field. They having tent negotiations. Go ahead.
And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him.
She didn't even let him go to decide which tent he was going in. She decided for him. Go ahead.
And said, you must come in on to me.
You must. Wait a minute. When you start telling the man where he going to go, how you going to tell me where I got to go?
Because me and my sister done decided. We done made an agreement.
Remember, 12 has to come out of this. Go ahead.
For surely I have hired you with my son's mandrakes.
I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. Go ahead.
And he lay with her that night. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, Elohim has given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the sixth son. And Leah said, Elohim has endowed me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And Elohim remembered Rachel, and Elohim hearkened to her, and opened her womb.
Right. The love that he had for her was so strong, he couldn't let her bear early. It would have been a problem. But why is he in this if it's just a bunch of bickering and it doesn't matter? He still got to get his 12. He's setting up the foundation of the nation of Israel here. He has to get this number. Go ahead.
And she conceived and bare a son, and said, Elohim has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Yosef, and said, Yahweh shall add to me another son. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Yosef, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go on to mine own place and to my country. That was it. Verse
All right. Jump to chapter 31. And we're going to read verses 1 through 18.
And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's has he gotten all this glory.
All right. So to fill in the blanks there, he has gone through all of these things and changed the contract. It was originally supposed to be 7 years. He ends up 20 years working for this man. 7 years for each daughter, 6 years for the cattle. Every time he made the agreement that it was going to be one type of animal, Yahweh changed how the animal was born so that he would turn around and keep giving Jacob substance. Oh, he all in this. So the question is, when those small interventions that might seem aggressive happen in your life, do you see Yahweh? Interesting.
Read, priest.
And Yaakov beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And Yahweh said unto Yaakov, return unto the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I'll be with you. And Yaakov sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not towards me as before, but the Elohim of my father has been with me. And you know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times.
Change my wages 10 times. Go ahead.
But Elohim suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckle shall be your wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ringstrakes shall be your hire, then bear all the cattle ringstrakes.
So what he did was each time he said the speckle shall be yours, but it wasn't but a few speckle. So he thought, I will give you about 3 of them. Then the next 30 come out speckle. So then he changed it again, and every time he changed it, Yahweh still keep taking care of him. He's paying him out of this man's substance. Go ahead.
Thus Elohim has taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leapt upon the cattle were ringstraight, speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of Elohim spake unto me in a dream, saying, Yaakov. And I said, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now your eyes, and see, all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ringstraight, speckled, and grizzled. For I've seen all that Laban does unto you.
Right. So, no matter what it looked like physically, Yahweh was in every bit of this. So, man, I know the man taking your money. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of this. Every time he do something slick, I'm gonna make it to where you still gonna get paid. Our problem is we try to get back on our own. Somebody take something from you and you say, oh, you go such and such, and then you go home and you got a check sitting there. You know, where did the check come from? Yeah, they had said something. They said one time you had some money in some kind of 401k or something like that some years ago. You had done, and that company fired you, but they didn't give you some money, and then that money done grew. So here goes $6,000. What? Ain't that what that dude took from me? Yep. Right. Now you can go back and try to get it yourself, and you can be in cell block 4B. Go ahead.
I am the Elohim of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you vowed a vow unto me. Now arise and get you from this land and return unto the land of your kindred.
Now, you have to understand what has happened here, okay? Yahweh sent this man off to where he thought was going to be a quick trip, all right? 20 years later, he's coming back, fully equipped with family and substance. See, in some situations, it's not good that your enemies see you being built and prosper. So he took him out the way. He moved him all the way over here. They never saw the 12 tribes grow. They never saw the 12 tribes come together. When they saw him, when he returns, he got a full-fledged family. Substance and all. So some of the things that we think we are in control of, that we think we understand what's happening, he's purposely sending you off to grow you. No, you don't need to be amongst your family when this happened. I need to bring you over here. I'll send you back, but when I send you back, you're going to be together. See, if they see you come up, they have an opportunity to throw rocks and sticks in the middle of my foundation. So they're not going to see the foundation being laid. When they see it, they're going to wonder, what happened to you? Where all this come from? And then where Esau at? Mm-hmm. What's all this company? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is my family. Go ahead.
And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he has sold us, and has quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which Elohim has taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever Elohim has said unto you, do. Then Jacob rose up, and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle, and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Padamaram, for to go to Esaac his father in the land of Canaan.
Right. So then he goes there with this substance, with his family, because the last thing that the father wanted was for him to get one of the daughters of men. This was all about go over there, get a daughter of Elohim. Go through whatever problem you got to go through. Don't get one of the daughters of men. Let's go to our Acts chapter 9. See, when you go look at that movie and start seeing all of the movements of the angels that are orchestrating and trying to adjust those situations, I want you to think back to the things that we just read. And understand that each one of these twists and turns and all of these, what we look at as problems, were adjustments to make sure that he ends up with these 12. And then we have to ask ourselves, what is the destiny that he has for us? And what adjustments might he have to make to put you back on the path that you keep trying to get off of? Acts chapter 9, let's read verses 1 through 16.
And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughters against the disciples of the Adonai, went on to the high priest, and desired of them letters to Damascus to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound on to Jerusalem.
Now, Saul, they didn't like him, all right, because he was very aggressive, but he was very dedicated. He had dedication from day one. Even when he was wrong, he had wrong dedication. This is why I tell people, remember how you did your sin. What you talking about? How much power and dedication did you put to doing wrong? That's what he holding you to when it's time to do right. He holding you to that same dedication. How much earlier you got to the event when you were doing wrong? How much later did you stay? Club was closed. You still in the parking lot. The event over. You at the Waffle House. Okay. So when they come down to here work, that's exactly what he gonna be asking you. Hey man, they just closed. What the hell you leaving? Whoa. Ain't that how you did your wrong? Why you ain't still in the parking lot? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecute you me?
Why persecute you me? See, the things that you've done unto them, you're doing unto me. Go ahead.
And he said, Who are you, Adonai? And the Adonai said, I am Yahshua, whom you persecuted. It is hard for you to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Adonai, what will you have me to do?
Automatically, the dedication level is amazing. He has put all his power into going against these people. Soon as he receives his vision, automatically, what will you have me to do? What are my instructions? This ain't something that just happened to him. This is his destiny. Yahweh didn't just pick him. He was always picked. This man was born abroad, had double citizenship, can speak other languages, was trained under Gamaliel, one of the strictest lawyers in the book. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't just now picked. It was his destiny. And can't none of them other dudes do this job. They don't have double citizenship. They can't move in and about. There's some people that can handle this level of business, and there's other people that can handle this level of business. He was this kind of dude. This was always his destiny. Go ahead.
And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told you what you must do. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man.
Wait a minute. You know, this thing is for him. They stood speechless. No, this is his. Y'all just somebody with him. Go ahead.
And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus.
Now, if you done persecuted people, you done did all of these things, let me tell you something, this is a very vulnerable situation. All of a sudden, the dude who was doing all the harm to everybody can't see. It's perfect time to go and get you, kick him while he's down. Go ahead.
And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus, named Ananias, and to him said the Adonai in a vision, Ananias. And he said, Behold, I'm here, Adonai. And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Yehudis for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prays, and has seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight.
Now, imagine this brother said, wait a minute, that he might receive his sight. You mean he can't see? Let me hit him at least a few times. Can I hit him? Go ahead.
Then Ananias answered, Adonai, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he has done to your saints at Jerusalem.
Which is true. He has done those things. That is an actual statement. It is a true statement. Go ahead.
And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on your name.
That is also an accurate statement. Go ahead.
But the Adonai said unto him, Go your way, for he's a chosen vessel unto me.
And that is an accurate statement. Stay out my business. Go your way. He's got to walk in his destiny. And you can't stand in the way of that. Go ahead.
To bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel.
To bear my, this is why some of his writings are so confusing. And this is why some of those things you have to go back and get some deeper understanding, which is why we even going back and dealing with the head covering issue as we get, especially getting closer, approaching unto the altar. It says, Go your way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my names before Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel. Well, wait a minute. That word has to change based upon who he's in front of. Everybody else, he said, don't go but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that word didn't have to change. He just sent him to 3 distinct groups of individuals. That word going to change based upon who he's talking to. Go ahead.
For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake.
And that is the part of his destiny. As he's going about persecuting those people, he's also stepping in the line of his destiny. Because his destiny means that he has to suffer. And he don't know he's walking in the beginning stages of it. See, one of those things you have to look at. Does he accept the suffering that comes if he had not made other people suffer? So the part that he did wrong was actually right. Because it's that part that's going to make him fully do this part. He realizes that he has a debt to pay. And nobody outworks Saul once he gets going. Nobody. But does he do that if he hadn't done the wrong? Let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49. There's a whole lot of things we might want to go back and change. But be careful when you go to make those changes. At least you adjusting the plan that was put together by the Most High.
Says chapter 49 and verse 1. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, you people from far. Yahweh has called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother has he made mention of my name.
Here we go again. Yahweh has called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother has he made mention of my name. Go ahead.
He has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand has he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver has he hid me.
Now consider, man, you know how we take spiritual gifts and we use them for carnal things. Verse 2. And he has made my mouth like a sharp sword. You know, when you ain't got the word and your mouth still sharp like a sword, you hurting everybody feeling. Because you haven't figured out the reason for your power. You still got the power, but what are you actually using it for? What are you doing with the power? What happens when this sharp sword that proceeds out of your mouth show up at the party? Because you haven't figured out its purpose yet. But you still got the power. Go ahead.
And said unto me, You are my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my Elohim. And now, says Yahweh, that formed me from the womb to be his servant.
He formed me from the womb to be his servant. That means it ain't nothing that I ended up deciding. In the beginning, I read something that those were Yahshua's words. It says, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. A lot of us believe that we were skimming through the internet and we were going through some things and we discovered something. You didn't choose him. He chose you. I know some of you said, well, I got here because, my man came here. That was just the ride he used to get you here. But he chose you. Go ahead, bro.
To bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my Elohim shall be my strength. And he said, It is a light thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles, that you may be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Thus says Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despised, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers. Kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship, because of Yahweh that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose you.
He shall choose you. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.